kind of surprised. Um, we didn't expect Raila to die at this time. It came to us as a surprise. And with it, another surprise that followed it was that he had asked if he could be buried within 72 hours. I don't know when he wrote this will of his to be buried 72 hours, whether he wrote it in Kenya or somewhere else. But 72 hours, such a short time. You know Kenyan funerals, how they go. It was such a short time, and therefore things had to be rushed quickly. And for us to beat that time, we are most grateful to the President, His Excellency William Samoei.
Now, let us rewind back into Raila Odinga's memorial state funeral. Who actually authorized Raila to be buried within 72 hours? And if there was a will, why didn't they put it in public for us to actually see? Was there even a will in the first place? Or people just sat and decided Raila should be buried within 72 hours. If Ida Odinga herself, the wife of Raila, the late, is here confessing she doesn't know anything to do with the will of Raila that indicates he should be buried within 72 hours. So many questions, raising eyebrows. Well, welcome back to our channel. Press that subscribe button for more news bulletins on Royal News, the channel where you get all your trending politics. Now, I want us to start our bulletins with a big question. If there was indeed a will stating that Raila should be buried within 72 hours, why didn't they put the will into the public opinion so that we can actually see Raila was a big person, a big political figure in the history of Kenya? Why 72 hours of burial?
There are still many things that have to be done. I was kind of surprised. We didn't expect Raila to die at this time. It came to us as a surprise. And with it, another surprise that followed it was that he had asked if he could be buried within 72 hours. I don't know when he wrote this will of his to be buried 72 hours, whether he wrote it in Kenya or somewhere else. But 72 hours, such a short time. You know Kenyan funerals, how they go. It was such a short time, and therefore things had to be rushed quickly. And for us to beat that time, we are most grateful to the President, His Excellency William Samoei.
Was the state afraid of the impacts that came with losing Raila Odinga, being a key significant political figure in the history of Kenya? Were they afraid that Kenyans would have reacted in a different way towards Raila's burial and funeral progress? Well, during Raila's funeral, so many questions emerged, so many that we cannot even answer half of them. Who authorized Raila to be buried within 72 hours? And if there was a will he wrote, where is it? Can we actually have physical evidence out in the public that Raila stated he needed to be buried within 72 hours? Why is Mama Ida Odinga, the wife of the late Raila Odinga, having no idea if Raila wrote this will in Kenya or wrote it in India, stating he needed to be buried within 72 hours? This only confirms that Ida Odinga had nothing to do with the 72-hour burial of Raila Odinga. She actually knows nothing about the 72-hour will written by Raila Odinga. Could this be something that the government came up with? They sat and agreed that Raila should be buried within 72 hours. And why 72 hours? That's the question. Why? Why bury Raila, a national figure in the politics of Kenya, within 72 hours? Was the will written in India or here in Kenya? Because Mama Ida seems to have no idea at all about the will that the government stated clearly Raila had instructed he should be buried within 72 hours. Does this raise an eyebrow? But we know one time the truth will come out, because many insinuated that Raila's funeral was actually planned and that Raila didn't actually die from India as they stated. Others insinuated that the plane carrying the remains of Raila was an empty coffin. I don't know, these are just analysis and all insinuations from Kenyans. Could there be a foul play somewhere in Raila's state funeral? But we all know when it comes to a state funeral, the military and the president are in control. So Mama Ida had very little participation or very little engagement. She couldn't say anything at all because it was a funeral presided over by the state and the military in control. Do you think there could be a foul play somewhere and the family of Raila was not involved in some decision making? Kenyans were still mourning, and according to what the entire country was stating, Raila could have been given more time and burial preparations taken step by step, being a key significant figure in Kenyan politics. People got very little time to actually bid farewell to their iconic figure. But who am I to say? If Ida herself knows very little about the will drafted by Raila to be buried within 72 hours, don't you think there is something not adding up? Definitely question marks. Eyebrows raised, with the fingers pointing to the state funeral. What say have you? Did Raila Odinga actually draft a will to be buried within 72 hours? Or it was part of the government state funeral program? Well, one day the truth will be out and Royal News will be here to scrutinize each and every political detail about the 72-hour will drafted by Raila Odinga. A 72 will that the family had no idea who authorized. Well, do you think we were played as Kenyans? Who actually dictated over Raila's burial within 72 hours? Stay tuned to Royal News, the channel where you get all your trending politics. In case it's your first time to listen in, press your subscribe button and ring your notification bell so that we can actually update you with all the news bulletins once we upload them. Until then, JD Ishmaels.